on, and to be able to retrieve them early and make the hard decisions.
Does this need an imprimatur of government, Congress, budget?
If we had a good system, yes. I mean, in our case, we're a private institution, so we can make that decision for our people, right? Looking at the facts. But here, expert judgment is necessary. That's why I push the scientists. I mean, we need to learn and engage with government to be able to make expert judgments. You know, at 9 p.m., the day before, my student, nothing but training, a semester under me, she's a political science student, so she's not even a scientist, was able to make the judgment and tell the whole world, because she was playing that role, there's a massive disaster coming to the Philippines. We have never seen this before. This is at 9 p.m. Of course, I was a bit skeptical, although I look at it and yes, you were just looking at CNN and all the different, you know, forecasts. But at 6 a.m. and I look, and given my experience where I used to manage environmental disasters for the Philippines when I was the UN Undersecretary, I sort of know this was very different. So actually, I told Secretary Jodor is a classmate from law school and a good friend. So I texted him at 10 in the morning of the 20th before all the different reports came in, and I said, "Para, this is something you have never seen before. You know, I mean, you know, basically leave everything." And this is, but I didn't have to because he was on the way already at around the time to, and my wife was later on telling me, Gilbert is already there getting out of MRT, so you don't have to do that. I mean, but because apparently they were already getting reports from the field.
Okay, may I just go to the lady of the dams? Okay, you from the stories that we read in the news that you followed a protocol that was dated way back, and that you are now submitting a new protocol on how to release water in times like these. What was the most difficult part from the people who managed the San Roque Dam and from Pagasa, of which you are a part, in making that decision that you did, which created this problem of flooding in areas nearby, Pangasinan and Tarlac?
The most difficult part would be doing an inflow equals outflow operation of the dam.
Inflow of
what comes in goes out.
Yes.
That was the most difficult because that's the last option that the hydrologist should make in the management of the reservoir. Simply because we are not getting the correct rainfall forecast.
Because you did not have the equipment.
Yes. Unfortunately, we didn't have the equipment. Basically, rainfall forecasting is a very difficult, even in the advanced countries, meteorological centers do not perfect this thing, because meteorology, for one, is not an exact science, and there are so many assumptions and approximations in doing this.
Ma'am, may I ask you to step back just for laymen like myself? What was the protocol? Because what we had heard was that when you are going to have to release water, there's supposed to be a time frame of what, 6 hours before? At least 6 hours from the time you decide you're going to release water to the actual release of the water. What are the protocols? Do you call, text, fax the government officials in the area to let them know that you're going to do this in 6 hours if you have the luxury of time?
Even before the operation of the spillway, the dam operators are already in regular communication with Pagasa. We communicate. We have hotlines to communicate with each other.
What about the people living in the area?
For the people living in the area, the direct provider of information are the dam offices. They have this. They're equipped with the target area, which are the municipalities immediately downstream of the dam, are equipped with fixed warning stations, and also there are roving patrol cars going around downstream to disseminate information.
At the time of Ondoy and Pepeng, did you have 6 hours to give people warning, or did you have to, in a sense, make a snap decision because the water was rising and you had to relieve the pressure on the dams? How much actual time did you have?
Yeah, actually, even October 8, as early as October 3, the Hydrometeorology Division of Pagasa have already been issuing flood forecast downstream within for the entire Agno River Basin. But in the midnight of October 6, that was the time when San Roque Dam opened spillway. But before that, it was early afternoon when we decided then that National Power and Pagasa, in coordination, of course, with the local government, any spillway cannot be opened without telling this or coordinating this with the local government.
And did you, at that point when you made that call to release the water, did you know the impact of that decision that you made? That it could have had, as we saw in the floodwaters, that practically drowned some areas. Nakita na nyo yun, nung dinesisyon na nyo yun, ay itong gagawin natin, whether you followed protocol or not, or whether this was just a knee-jerk reaction of some people who were just so excited and was just so worried about the dam. Nakita nyo kung ano ang mangyayari down the road?
Well, at first, it was not abrupt actually. The first opening of the spillway was just 1 meter. That's 12 midnight of October 6. And then it progressed on. We have progressive opening. National Power had progressive opening of the dams. It reached 2 meters, 3 meters, 4 meters, until it became 6
Okay, at alam nyo ang impact nitong desisyon ng releasing at 1 meter, at 2 meters, at 4 meters, at gaano kataas ang baha na magiging mangyayari doon sa mga lugar na pagdadaanan nitong tubig na ito?
Yeah, that's right. We were very calm yet when the inflow was about 1,700 because it is still within the absorptive capacity of the river then downstream. But when the rains keep pouring in and it reached around, the estimated inflow would have been more than 3,000, then we got worried, around 2,000.
But the central question, it always goes back to what are the systems in place to, do you have, for example, if you have these stations and vehicles, if at midnight no vehicle is going to be running around, tulog si mayor, tulog si governor, you send a fax, walang sasagot kasi it's not office hours. Are there other systems in place? Do you have sirens, or is there some sort of broadcast on the radio to, you know, these are, I think, the real questions people have. Presuming you have to make a snap decision and you don't have your 6-hour period, were there any other options you could have undertaken?
Well, let me clarify this first. The first time that National Power decided to open its spillway, it was coordinated with the Office of the Governor, the provincial police and everything. And right there, these local officials disseminated the information to the local government units, to the municipalities, and at the same time, the fixed warning stations, which are equipped with siren and broadcast, were triggered, including the patrol cars roving around the area. So every time additional opening will be effected, these are always informed to the local government.
Okay, so what was unknown to you then, and why did we have this much flood waters? Yung amount of rainfall na hindi nyo nasukat because wala kayong pangsukat.
Yes, Tina.
Even if all of these simple tools that you mentioned here, Dr. Arcilia, it would not have helped them. It would not have helped the community at that point.
Yeah, because
if this were in place now.
Okay. Again, hindsight is always 20/20. But if you knew that there was going to be a lot of rain, then you could actually maybe release more water. In fact,
in anticipation of
the rain.
Yeah.
Because you don't. The thing is that it's what you said. You know, how do you at some point during the most damaging part of the thing, the input, the water coming from the basin, and the water being allowed was the same. It's as if the dam was not there. And this is the thing that it was 5,000 cubic meters per second. You know, it's kind of difficult to, because we had an indoor session in UP on this, and in fact, there's going to be an investigation on this. But when I saw this, the input is equal to output. The dam was invisible, meaning 5,000 cubic meters of water that was coming in is the same that was flowing down. Now, it was in some people's mind, parang ginawa ng NPC, binuksan mo yung floodgates and then released hell and water doon sa
But
population.
Dr. Arcilla, let me bring in this point, and this is a good opportunity for the round for all of you here now. There's a question. If I'm going through surgery, I'll look for a second opinion. Now, in a case of anything like this involving the science and the administrative and political aspect of it, there is a scientific call to be made and a political call to be made. What can be done to integrate the two so that those who have to make the political call are doing it on the best scientific?
There's actually there's something wrong with the protocol. I think NPC agrees to that it's being reviewed. And in fact, there's a team, multi-sectoral team. I'll be part of that to review this.